welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Noxie, aka the girl on site. I hope you're good. I hope you're well. Guys, I'm pregnant. This has been such an exciting journey. Right here, right now, I am 7 months pregnant, guys. And of course, I just figured, you know what, this would be such a great, experience and journey to share with you guys. I mean, I'm a first-time mom, and first-time mom in the making. Not yet a mom, my baby's still baking. But I felt as if, I didn't really feel as if there was enough out there to prepare me for this. Yeah, I just felt like, just everyone expects you to know exactly what's going on and what this means, what it entails, and all that kind of stuff. It's so strange because, you kind of feel shamed for being a first-time mom and you're inquisitive and things like that. But now maybe it does seem, okay, girl, calm down. Okay, people have had babies before, like, just relax. But at the same time, I'm like, I genuinely don't know what's what, guys. I've never been through this before. So I felt like there's no way I'm the only person who feels like that. So let me share my experience so far with you guys, and hopefully this will help another first-time mom in the making, the way that I feel like I would have felt a little bit more comfortable if there was someone out there who shared their experience the way I'm trying to share mine with you. So yeah, this is just a quick brief episode on some 10 facts for first-time moms, and it's just literally just a view into what I've been going through the past couple months being pregnant. Right, so starting at number 10, for me, I felt like pregnancy is a mind trip, guys. Like, it plays with your mind because I feel like what you thought and what you anticipated and what actually is two totally different things. So I feel like we all have this idea of what being pregnant is like or what we're gonna go through and stuff like that, but it's totally nothing you can imagine. So I just feel like I also told myself the same thing. I was like, you know what? Go into this open-minded. Don't pre-anticipate something, because you have no idea. You have no idea what your own experience is going to be compared to the experience of others you may have witnessed and things like that. So for me, it was just the biggest mind trip being like pregnant. And I feel as if, even just seeing your body change as well, it's just like, is this really me? Good gracious, this belly and just everything you go through, you're just like, whoa, what's happening? So for me, I felt like being pregnant is the biggest mind trip. Okay, in the number 9 spot, for me, everyone has advice for you all of a sudden. Like, everyone wants to tell you what to do. They think they know everything, and the tricky part is that it comes from a good place. It definitely comes from a good place, of course, because these are people who love and care about you. They want to help you and, give you some helpful insight. But sometimes it gets a little bit much, guys, when everyone around you has something to say, and then worse, people are contradicting each other. You're like, okay, but this person said this, and then that person is saying that, and you're just like, no, wait a minute. So that's one thing that has been quite challenging for me. It's just everybody just spitting advice at you, everything from what you should eat and how you should sleep and all these things. And if you say you're going through one thing, they're just like, well, I didn't go through that. And then I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going through it, so you know what I mean? So it's been I think for me, that was one of the challenging things. It's just like, okay, how do you navigate just, having your own experience, but also just having other people try and pour into that experience and try and help, but also at the same time really made things quite confusing for you. For me, all I did was, I was just like, look, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, guys, because it's one of those things where pregnancy is different for everyone, and it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. So if you're going through something that somebody else is like, I didn't go through that, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. And also for me, I was just like, I can mostly just trust my doctor and just just have queries and questions with them. But otherwise, it's helpful to have at least a pool of people who you can talk to, and that's always great, to just have that support structure. But all I'm saying is, just be mindful that everyone wants to tell you something that they think they know better than everybody else, and it's hard to navigate, but just bear that in mind. people are just trying to help. So just, yeah, understand that. Everyone has advice for you. That's number 9. Right, so number 8, I think for me, you know, it's like I said earlier, we've all got this preconception about what pregnancy is going to be like and what you might go through. But because we're all so different, some of the typical pregnancy related things might not be your case, you know. So I think one example for me where, listen, you know, I was in my first trimester and I was just waiting to just have morning sickness, be sick, and I was like, I was so nervous for it because, guys, I was going to work full time, like every day, you know. I wasn't working from home, so I was just like, oh my word, how am I going to navigate this? The bathroom is so far from my desk, and what am I going to do if I want to throw up? These are the things going through my mind. But my entire first trimester, guys, I didn't throw up, not once. I was so confused. I really thought, okay, shouldn't I be sick, you know? But the one thing I did go through was nausea. I was nauseous all the time. Oh, that wasn't fun. That was not fun. There was just this haziness in my mind and this awful feeling in my gut. Yeah, so that wasn't fun, but the throw up just never came. So it's things like that where we all just think there are specific things that are going to happen to me. Oh my word, when's my nose going to swell up? Oh my word, when are my feet going to swell up? When's this going to happen? When's that going to happen? And it's because of all these things that we think we know are supposed to happen during pregnancy. But yeah, it's not all going to happen. It might all happen. I mean, you just never know. There's some people who have really tough experiences. They're sick the whole time, throwing up and everything. There are other people who just immediately just start seeing absolute flames with their entire body and swelling and all this stuff. So fortunately for me, my feet are still the same. I still wear my same size shoe. I'd say my face looks relatively the same. You can tell me if I look different. But yeah, so everything's been okay for me. And I just, like I said in my earlier point that I made, if you remain open-minded, I think that then it'll be easier to navigate the changes when they come, and also the changes that don't come, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. That means that it's just not going to happen to me, and that's fine. You know, anything to make this journey easier, right? Right, guys. Number 7 is, you know, pregnancy just being about letting go of control. You know, you think, you know, this is my body. I know what's going on with my body, but pregnancy will show you, honey, you are in the back seat right now. And you just have to surrender, basically. You know, this whole thing is happening in spite of you. There is nothing that you are literally doing to make this happen. You know, so you're basically literally, like, that's how it feels like for me. I feel like I'm in the back seat of a moving car and there's no driver. And I'm just there and the car's moving and you're just like, what? So yeah, it's incredible. I feel like it's an incredible, what can you call it? I can't say concept. It's not a concept. It's literally an existing phenomenon, you know, but I just feel like pregnancy is insane in terms of how much it's got nothing to do with you. You're not actively doing anything to grow this baby. So I feel like, yeah, it's confusing as well, where your body is just doing things you don't know what to do. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's sore, sometimes it's whatever, you know. It's not the best experience ever, but when you realize, like, this is what it takes to, you know, create life, good gracious, you know, you realize that just let go, let your body do its thing. The best that you can do is just take care of your body while it's doing this. You know, you just sleep well, eat well, you know, just look after yourself, listen to your body as well, because although, you know, like I'm saying, you're in the back seat, you're not in control, your body will speak to you and tell you that, you know what, I need your help, like, feed me, please. You know, there are some people who just don't have good eating habits. You know, a friend of mine, she just doesn't like eating breakfast. And then when she was pregnant, it actually became a problem. You know, she had to now start learning how to eat more regularly, because this thing of skipping meals and stuff like that, it just was not working for her in her pregnancy. So you realize that your body does need you to play along, help out, and then everything will be good. Alrighty, fact number 6, guys, pregnancy is expensive. Oh my word, pregnancy is expensive, guys. Like, I think everyone says babies are expensive, you know, children are expensive, and it makes you think of after the fact, like when they're here. But for me, I feel like nobody talks enough about pregnancy being expensive. So it's everything from, you know, the additional doctor's appointments, the additional medication, supplements and things that you need to take. It's the change in your diet. Maybe you want to eat better, you actually eat more as well. There's some people like, look, okay, that also depends. So for me, my diet didn't really change much. I just started getting hungrier quicker. But then it's not really that I now maybe started not enjoying certain foods, like, oh my word, now I can't stand red meat, or oh, dairy drives me insane. There are some people where literally there's certain food groups or food types where all of a sudden you're pregnant and you can't eat that. So it means you need to overhaul your diet and the food that you eat and stuff like that, which is an expense at the end of the day. So for me, it was also just getting hungrier sooner, so needing to snack a little bit more, but there was nothing really excessive that changed in my eating habits. But also things like overhauling your wardrobe, guys, like maternity wear, all of a sudden you can't fit into anything. And then when you need to start buying maternity wear, you realize that it's not just a few garments here and there, it's everything. So for me, I've been pregnant over summertime, which has been great because it's meant, a lot of loose, comfortable, light clothing, which has been great. I couldn't imagine being pregnant over winter, guys. Layers and stuff, and you've got this belly. Anyway, I digress. So for me, it wasn't too bad having to get maternity garments, but all of a sudden, this past summer, you guys will also recall, there were a few instances where we had cold fronts. Now, all of a sudden, I've bought a bunch of dresses and loose maternity clothes, but then now there's a cold front. And I'm like, oh my word, nothing that I own that's warm fits anymore. Now I realize, oh my word, I need to now get warm maternity clothes. And then it's like a whole nother thing. So yeah, for me, I was just like, that's one thing I feel like you should prepare yourself for. It's not just about the baby that's coming, that's gonna be an expense, but even the journey before the baby comes is quite expensive as well. It just also depends on what kind of medical aid you might have or not have. Like even if you don't have medical aid, then seeing your doctors and all that kind of stuff becomes even more expensive. And then also, of course, with whatever medical aid package you have, it's also the things that they cover and the things that they don't cover. So guys, be very aware of that. You don't want to find yourself 9 months in and you've just got this massive bill with your doctor and stuff like that. Just be prepared for all the expenses associated with the pregnancy journey before the actual baby arrives. Okay, now point number 5 is that pregnancy is tiring, guys. I think I underestimated that one. I underestimated how tiring pregnancy is. Good gracious, it's a lot. So I feel as if for the most part I was just operating as if I'm my normal self. I'm not pregnant and things like that. Until I started realizing, oh my word, my back. I'd start getting these aches, and then I realized I can't do the things I used to do before I was pregnant. There are all kinds of things happening with your body, and even just speaking hormone-wise, just your bones are loosening to accommodate the baby, this and that. So there's a lot of pressure at the hips and the back, and so being on your feet for a long time is just not it. Being up and down, so someone like me who is on their feet quite a bit, and I'm up and down, side to side, whatever the case may be, being a working professional while pregnant as well is something else also. I just realized why, people would stay home while rearing children, housewives and the like, homemakers and stuff. It's an absolute blessing to be at home and not have to go to work physically and things like that while you are pregnant, guys. It's very, very tiresome. But of course, not everyone has the luxury. So for those of us still at work, still on our feet, prepare yourself for being tired. And then the problem with that is, for me, one thing I've been struggling with is sleep. I don't sleep comfortably now that I'm pregnant. I miss the days of a good night's rest. I'm someone who can sleep a good 8 hours undisturbed, and now with the pregnancy, you're getting up to go to the loo, you're not allowed to sleep on your back. That's another thing I hated, guys. I sleep on my back. Before being pregnant, I sleep on my back. It's my favorite. My arms will be all over the place, but I'll be on my back. Now I can't sleep on my back because of the baby. So it's things like that where you're having to completely adjust, and now you're trying to be comfortable in different positions, and then the stomach is in the way, and yeah, it's tiring, guys. Okay, point number 4, guys. So pregnancy is literally a massive buildup to the arrival of this baby. Oh my word. Sometimes I forget that. Sometimes I'm just in the feel of being pregnant and you're just pregnant, I'm pregnant. You forget that there's a baby coming after the pregnancy, you know? So, I mean, maybe, I was having lunch with a friend and she's like, oh, have you guys gotten the nursery together yet? And then I was like, a nursery? And I was just like, oh my word, the baby needs a place to sleep. Like, that made me laugh. I was just like, oh my word, I totally forgot that I'm pregnant because, you know, there's a baby coming and I need to prepare for that baby, you know. So I still haven't gotten the nursery together. Right now, we've just got this empty room that we are gonna we'll sort it out. I'll get to it, guys. I will get to it. And I'm just like, yo, I'm 7 months. I'll get to it. But yeah, so there's a lot of things where you realize, good gracious, you know, this whole journey is going to end with an actual product at the end of the day. And that product is a baby, a human being that's going to need to be taken care of, going to need to be fed and looked after. So that's all I'm saying is this point was something for me where I had to keep reminding myself, darling, the pregnancy is just the journey to get to the part where you have a baby. So don't forget, after being pregnant, there's a baby, you know, so I had to keep reminding myself that. But now, of course, I can't wait. I can't wait to actually get my hands on this baby. Like every time I even just hold a onesie, I can't believe that there will be a human baby in this little onesie right here, you know, so it's so exciting. So yeah, don't forget the baby while you're pregnant, okay? Alrighty, fact number 3, guys. So for me, pregnancy is so long, but it's so short at the same time. Like, I hope that makes sense. It's such an oxymoron, but you know, one moment you're just 8 weeks pregnant and you're like, good gracious, I've got 40 weeks. You know, I still need to take this whole journey. I haven't even clocked my first trimester and you're just like, oh my word, this is so long. And then, you know, there's actually a colleague of mine, a male colleague of mine. He's like, listen, like, you will be shocked at how time flies. He's like, you think 9 months is a long time? It's gonna fly. So now that I am 7 months, yeah, I won't lie. I feel like I also am in disbelief. I'm like, good gracious, I've only got 12 weeks left. I think if I do the maths, yeah, I think I've got I've got 13 weeks left of my pregnancy. And I'm just like, that's just over 3 months. 3 months, and then I'm gonna have my baby. And I'm just like, you know, am I ready? Am I prepared enough? I mean, you know, I don't have the nursery ready, so. So all I'm saying is that, you know, you feel like it's such a long time, but at the same time, it's also quite short. And of course, you know, you're grateful when there aren't any complications, of course. You know, guys, this can also be such a challenging time as well. So you just take it within its stride. And at some point, you know, 1 minute you found out you're pregnant, next minute you're ready to give birth. So let's see how these last few weeks go. Alrighty, at the number 2 spot, guys, the physical burden of pregnancy. Pregnancy is a physical burden. And I'm being so meticulous when I say this because I feel as if I underestimated that part, or maybe not enough people talk about the physical challenges associated with carrying a whole entire baby. Good gracious, guys, like I've never experienced the kind of aches and pains that I'm experiencing right now being pregnant. You know, there's something called round ligament pain, and there's something called pelvic girdle pain, and there's all these things. Like for me right now, nighttime is my worst time during this pregnancy. You know, not only, like I said, because I actually sleep on my back. The fact that I can't sleep on my back anymore has really just turned my sleeping upside down. So beyond that, now it's really messed up with my ability to sleep comfortably. And then of course, just in general, being pregnant, you know, guys, it's uncomfortable having this big belly in the way. You're trying to sleep, turning over. If you're sleeping on your left and you want to turn over to your right and vice versa, oh, I literally dread that part. I'm like, okay, it's time to turn over. And then you need to use your entire being to try and no, it's something else, guys. It's something else. So I I realized that no, guys, you know, when you see a pregnant woman waddling around in public, you know, we've all seen that before, where we're just like, okay, whoa, she's really pregnant. But I've realized how that happens when you're just dealing with all kinds of aches and pains. Also, like I said earlier, where it took me quite some time to start like changing my habits and realizing I can't do the things that I used to do when I was not pregnant versus now when I'm pregnant. So there have been instances where I've pushed it a little bit too far. You know, maybe I've really exerted myself physically beyond what I should have, and you pay the price. Oh, I'll never forget this one day where I was just at it, you know, just physically just getting stuff done and all this kind of stuff, up and down, up and down. I hadn't sat down in about 3 hours, and then I finally sat down, right? Now it was time for me to get up. I've never been in so much pain in my life. Like, I literally had to hold on to something. I was like, whoa. And that day I waddled. I couldn't walk straight. I was just like, no guys, I think I took it way too far. I'm in so much pain. I was walking so slowly. I was even dreading going to the bathroom because, you know, at that point now I was at the office, and then I was just like, yo, the bathroom is over there and I have to walk. It was hell, guys. It was hell. So then that's when I realized, guys, carrying a baby is a physical burden. Don't underestimate it. Take care of yourself. Dial it back. Don't try to be superwoman doing all kinds of things that you shouldn't. And just really take it easy. It's not a joke. Just take it easy. So yeah, that one is a hectic one. I had to stress that one. Okay, cool. At the number one spot, guys, the final fact for first-time moms. Guys, I wanted to share with you the fact that pregnancy is beautiful. It is such a beautiful journey. It is such a beautiful experience, guys. Like, I think it's just so miraculous. You know, it's just crazy. You know, every time I feel the baby move, every time I see my baby on the scans, you know, every time I just, oh my goodness, you know, you're just going through this entire journey and you're just like a human being that never existed before is being made in my womb, in my body. You know, it's just the most wonderful, crazy, the most craziest thing ever. So I think that it's been just so wonderful. It's been great, and I think that pregnancy does bring out a lot of good in people. Everyone's nice to me now that I'm pregnant. I'm like, I should have done this long ago. People are so sweet. But yeah, it brings out the joy and love. You know, even family is excited, and there's just such a beautiful excitement. You know, even your friends, your loved ones, and things like that. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful journey. So no matter all the things that I've mentioned, which you should be aware of, and things that I'm sharing because I wasn't aware of them either, how tough it is and how difficult it is and how confusing it can be sometimes, at the end of the day, when you think of the bigger picture, you're just like, wow, what an incredible experience. And I'm just so blessed to be able to carry this baby, and I just can't wait for the day that they are ready to be born, and you're just like, oh my word, goodness, is this really me? So yeah, guys, that's it. I guess I can leave it there. I just wanted to share this. Like I'm saying, you know, being a first-time mom in the making, there's a lot of stuff you just have no idea about. You don't know who to talk to. Everybody talks to you like you should know these things already, and you're just like, okay, I don't. So it's just nice to be able to share these things. This might help someone out there. I hope that it helped you. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. So please like, please subscribe, please share the content. Hop in the comments if you have any other questions. But for now, it's bye from me, guys. Obviously, I'll see you soon. Bye.